Hi everyone, welcome back to BRH. I'm back at the studio finally. So I'm happy to be back. And I have Anand with me, as I promised yesterday, that we will have Anand here to discuss about all about this NVIDIA. All the hype and all the news and everything is about NVIDIA and NVIDIA. Just because simply where it's standing right now in terms of price and the market share and market capitalization, it's just astounding that a company like NVIDIA can be in the position it is in. And after all it's making is processors and chips. So it is quite an astounding feat. There are deep divisions in this. There are people who say it is warranted and this is the future, and we are in the cusp of some new age for humanity, and we are about to enter this new age. That is why it is here, and all of us old people like me and Anand are not able to see it. They don't blame us. At the same time, they say, I have no clue what is happening. Then, of course, you have the other side in equal measure who say this is how typically bubble talk is. We have seen these bubbles over and over again in history, going way back till now. This happens cyclically, and we are again saying this time it's different when really it is not different. So I'm very confused as it is. So I really don't know where the coin is going to fall. But looking at where the bets are being placed, I would say it's pretty even keel on both sides, and it may fall on either side. So to help me understand this better, I thought it would be better have Anand quickly dial in and offer his wisdom. Of course, the caveat being me and Anand are not AI experts. We are not semiconductor experts. Though we did study engineering, we have been out of engineering for a very long time. And this is purely in terms of investors. We're talking about value investors. And Anand has been a market student for a very long time. And he has seen bubbles come and go far more than I've ever seen. And he studied these bubbles in great depth. So I thought it would be great to have his insight to see these hallmarks of a bubble. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But that I leave to you and your choice, which way the cookie crumbles, as they say. But without wasting any further time, Anand, what do you think about this NVIDIA?
There's a guy analyst called Cantor who says that Nvidia can go to $240 a share. If it goes to $240 a share, it will take over the market capitalization of India. India's entire market capitalization is something
By one company.
5 trillion plus. It is bigger than the size of India's economy. I'm just giving you a size.
Exactly. I mean, this is mind boggling numbers we're talking about.
So okay. So this is the number we are talking. Okay, all it is takes $60 or about give and take about 40% from here, less than 40% from here, it jumps 35%. And this is a mind boggling number. Even before it jumps to that level, it represents today nearly 8% of the S&P 500 index. That means if there is a market cap of 100 for the S&P index, 7.5 or 8 is NVIDIA. So you can understand it's 5 trillion, it's nearly 4 point odd trillion. So it is practically a huge number. Now, NVIDIA is a profitable company. You have to read it from two, 3 points of view. There has been a history of bubbles in the world. The first bubble I know is the railway bubble. I can go back before that. The first bubble is I'm talking in technology terms. I'll give you other bubbles which are not technology before that. These are technology bubbles I'm talking. There's a railway bubble, a telegraph bubble, there is an internet bubble. These every time, and there is a car bubble. In automobiles, Buffett famously said in 19th century when automobiles were first made, there's a very famous photograph of New York in 2 years when it just switch flipped. But the problem is there were 120 companies making cars, only three have survived in America. There are thousands of companies which went through the dot com bubble, and only company which has really thrived and succeeded in a big manner. There are then you will show me some company which was there and survived. Is Amazon.com. Nobody, and there was a company called Pet Shop, which had a huge valuation based on eyeballs. So, who is going to be the survivor of this massive bubble? Even if AI turns out to be true, we
Correct.
don't know what it is.
Exactly.
Okay, so even if AI is big, I don't know who is the survivor. As of today, they are making good graphic cards and graphic processors. But they now, Google is talking about quantum computing. I don't know when quantum computing comes, who will take the leadership.
Yes.
NVIDIA does not manufacture, somebody manufactures chips for NVIDIA.
NVIDIA designs chips.
Yeah. So Google is in making its own chip, others are making their own chip. So we don't know what will happen if quantum computing comes. I'm not an expert. And the two bubbles I wanted to talk, three bubbles before technology bubbles, were the tulip bubble for tulips. There was the Mississippi bubble for Mississippi company shares in Paris. And there was a South Sea bubble in America, in England. There are minor other bubbles. These are huge bubbles which have gone down in history. So we know what is the condition. There is a technology disruptor, disruptive technology. Here, the disruptive technology is AI. There are a lot of companies claiming to do AI. There are a lot of companies doing to AI. Some group of companies fetch outstanding, outlandish valuations. Some companies are getting outlandish valuations. In the gold rush of America, in California, the biggest survivor is Levi's,
Yeah.
which made jeans out of tent cloth. Now, for AI, NVIDIA is only giving you
Processors.
processors. The real guys who are going to make AI money are the software guys, right? So I do not know whether this is justified. But there is a chart of the S&P 500,
Yeah, because I'm
which,
looking at this.
yeah,
NVIDIA is at 4.34 right now. Microsoft is at 3.77. Apple is at 3.83. Alphabet is at 2.5. Amazon is at 2.44. Meta is at 1.9. And Tesla is at 1.1. I mean, these are all trillion.
yeah.
We're
So
not even
what?
talking about billion anymore.
So there's a great investor called as Howard Marks, which I was listening to his audio podcast. He said whenever the S&P crosses 23 times earnings, always the returns are plus or minus 2%. It is plus or minus
2%.
2%. And now the PE ratio is near 29. So this, he says, is the beginning of the bubble territory. I agree. I was not as seasoned as an investor then, but the previous crash like this was in 2000, and this was in 1997. I was 30 years old, 29 to 30 years old when the crisis built. We didn't know what was happening. It melted in 2000. I didn't even know what was happening. Between 2000 to 2002 was the toughest period. The same thing was, that was the internet bubble. Now we are at the beginning stages of a,
AI bubble.
whether it will burst from here or whether the P&D PB ratio goes to 40 and then bursts. I do not know.
Yeah, but the most fundamental thing which I want people to remember what you said is out of the 100, the remaining who will be standing at the end of the storm is difficult to predict.
No, but it's very tough to predict.
Correct. Exactly what you said is so true because in 1997, even for the longest time, Amazon was written off. People said they're just not making any money, they're just burning cash, burning cash. It took a long time for Amazon to turn into a success story. Now everyone has forgotten.
It's cloud that made Amazon successful,
Correct. Yes.
not retailing.
Yeah. Everyone looks at Amazon and talks about it as retailing, but the strength of Amazon is just in its cloud. And
Yeah.
this is just remarkable numbers, like you said. You know, when the wind comes and the hurricane blows and the cyclone hits, we do not know what tree is going to be left standing.
When whatever you are buying, look at value and then buy.
Correct.
And the catalyst to this is Trump taking a wrecking ball on the American economy.
Talking about that, even NVIDIA, they have to pay 15%
Yes.
to,
And then he is now trying to fire a Fed governor.
yeah,
So this is really crazy stuff. Anyway,
be careful is all we are saying.
but whatever I say, it will not happen because we have not seen a bear market in 16 years.
Correct.
So that's
Yeah.
life.
How much liquidity is there in the tank is very hard to guess. Even the Fed are not able to guess this. And they are the ones who are keeping the eyeballs on it. And they're the ones who created the liquidity. They themselves are very clueless when it comes to liquidity. So me and Anand claim to have no idea on gauge how much liquidity there is.
But
And
these are
as
really warning signs.
correct. And as long as the liquidity is there, this bubble can keep inflating before it collapses. So be careful. Like Anand says, look at value. If you find value and you know the business, it is in your wheelhouse, it's in your circle of competence, and you're able to see clearly what is happening, then go ahead and place small bets. Other than that, do not take your kitchen sink or go out running in this mess, because you can get hurt very badly if you don't play it right. Thanks for watching, Be Rich. I hope it gave you some clarity on what is happening with NVIDIA and all this Trump news which is going on, and what's happening macroeconomically. Tomorrow we'll try and dive into this and take something else and take a closer look and see how one of these companies are taking shape as we get more and more news on results. Thank you for being with me today on Be Rich. See you guys tomorrow with another one. Good evening.
Thank you for supporting me, Rich.